and good evening. I'll just tell you a little bit about the movie, and then I believe after the movie, because I'm sure there may be a lot of questions, that I'll hang around outside and we can answer any questions in the courtyard if that's what you like. It was an amazing opportunity for me to work for Jean-Luc. He was already a hero of mine. My favourite film, still one of my favourite films, is Alphaville, which, strange enough, I've just been asked to shoot a remake of that. I would really love to do that. We would use Prague as the other planet, as Godard used Paris, and the script is amazing. But anyway, I was very young when I shot this too, so to be asked by Jean-Luc Godard to shoot a movie was just, I mean, beyond my wildest dreams. And what I will say is that he didn't like the producers right from the start. And so all the prep was done in Paris. I would go to Paris every weekend for about a month. And all we ever spoke about was how we were going to shoot the Rolling Stones, because unlike most other things with pop groups, they weren't doing it for us. We were shooting them. We were like flies on the wall. And that's why I think you might find those scenes of the Stones are quite extraordinary, because you see their process of a major group making a record which starts off as one thing and ends up something completely different. So that's the only thing we prepped, and all we knew about that, we kept talking about how we were going to do it, was we would get there at night, and as soon as we got there, Lynn Johns, the recording engineer, would set up the baffles and the booths and the microphones, and he'd say, this is where Mick's going to be, Charlie's there. So we always knew where they were going to be on every night, so we would lay out tracks. So they're very long, continuous 10-minute takes, some of them. For the rest of it, I think that Godard was then and still is now a very political animal. And I think the movie is probably more, it's only my opinion, you may have got a different opinion, I think the movie is even more relevant now on the political side of things than it was then. Because really nothing's changed in that 50 years. I mean, everybody's still struggling. And the premise of the movie is really simple. It's about art and destruction. And as far as Godard is concerned, destruction is never finished. And art is never finished. And that's where the trouble arose with the producers. You're seeing 1+1 tonight, which is Godard's cut. But the producers released the movie as Sympathy for the Devil at the premiere. And Godard went rushing down the stage and knocked one of the producers out because he wanted to show his version of the movie. And the only difference between this version and the Sympathy of the Devil is the soundtrack at the end, where you hear the completed song of Sympathy for the Devil. And that really pissed Godard off, because that meant to him that was complete. He didn't want art to be complete. So I guess that's about as much as I can say at this moment. But when we were shooting, other than the Stones thing, no one knew what we were doing. I had no idea what we were doing. And I was I was such an admirer of him. He was very easy to work with. I mean, we got on extremely well. When I say we didn't know what we were doing, because there was no script. A car would pick me up at home, take me to his hotel, we'd pick him up, and he'd have a little scrap of paper, or basically a back of a Boyard cigarette packet, and this is what we were doing today. And we just go around London and do it. And it was really, I mean, I just can't believe I was part of it. It was just so exciting to be there, and it was just absolutely wonderful. So I will leave you now, and I'll come back, and I hope you enjoy the film. I was so happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, right. How large were your loads? Do you have 1,000-foot loads?
That camera goes on the crane again. That's what we shot most of the movie.
Right.
That's an old BNC. So it was a non-reflex camera.
Right.
So I'd shoot with a finder on the side, so Godard would be looking over my scene roughly. But you never knew what you got until, because in those days, the finder was on a parallax.
Right.
So if this is the lens here, the finder is there. So on a medium shot, the finder's getting what you're going to see through the camera. But as you go in, the parallax goes like that. So what would happen if you wanted to end up in close up like that? If you saw that in the finder, you had that. But it all got done.
Yeah. Who was playing focus? The focus was
friendly at Colin Cole, because we could never run out tape because we never knew where we were.
Right. I couldn't believe it. Just like when Out of Focus shot at Charlie Watts for a moment.
That's right, just for a brief moment.
Yeah. Right.
But I really liked it. I thought it was great.
Well, the camera work is just so kind of.
But it was just, it's just, I mean, he tried, I mean,
It's like the eye of God just roaming around. You
just
know?
go for what you can get. He knew what he wanted in so much as where the tracks would start and stop.
Yeah.
And as I say, the only thing that was planned is that, you know, he wanted to prep in Paris. I mean, it's a very strange thing. I had a phone call one night. This little woman said, "Are you Anthony Tony Richmond?" I said, "Yes." Well, my name's Elaine Collard. I'm going to do a picture and I want to talk to you about it tomorrow night. So meet me outside the Hilton. So I went to the Hilton Hotel and then outside at 7:30 they were standing outside. I told her what I'd be wearing. It was a rainy night. And this, you know, I was watching the guys in the livery, the red jackets and over the doors, people getting in and out. And this monstrous Rolls Royce would drive, like one like the Queen had, you know, or has, with flags on the wings and the Royal Crest on the side, and the door opens. And this boy said, "Mr. Richmond, get in." And they get in with this little old lady, Greek lady called Elaine Collard. She was producing the film. She drove around London for about an hour. But she wasn't really telling me anything about the film. And I used to like a drink in those days. There was a beautiful bar inside, so we were nothing back to the film. And suddenly we ended up at when she said she asked me. She said, "Oh, when you'd worked with Francois Truffaut, which I did. I mean, as an assistant, I went on Fahrenheit 451." She said, "Would you like working with Truffaut?" I said, "What about Godard?" Godard's work is fabulous. So we ended up at one of these mansions on Chaining Walk by the Thames. Knocked at the door, and that butler opened the full buttons again. We go up the stairs to the living room. The air was getting a bit thick as we go on. I could smell the hashish, you know, the Lebanese gold. And the room was thick as smoke, and there's the Stones all lying on the floor. And in the corner, Jean-Luc Godard.
Wow.
I almost dropped dead. I sort of vaguely knew the Stones. I'd done a video for them for Jumping Jack Flash. And then they introduced me to Godard, and we spoke through his interpreter for about an hour. I don't know what we spoke about. I was just, I was just sort of in awe. I was, keeping my mouth closed. And he got up and went over the other side of the room, and he had his sort of script role as his interpreter, and he explained how Jean-Luc's going now. And I said, "Is he going to make a movie?" He said, "He wants to do it." And I went in the next day and did my deal. And then they said he wants to prep the movie in Paris, so I go to Paris every weekend, which is fantastic. They go on the plane on Friday night, in the really nice hotel. And they said, "You'll be getting a call from Jean-Luc." And I didn't get, so I stayed in all Saturday, couldn't get a call. Had breakfast on the room, and I got a call at midday on Sunday, going to his house and went there. And all he wanted to know was how we were going to shoot the Stones. The story is that, we were going to, because he was very worried that, we couldn't be seen in the studio.
Right.
We couldn't interrupt them. That was a requisite. And film wasn't very fast in those days. And there was a huge area to light, and it's not like a normal. It had to be lit once, and that was it. I could tweak things each night I went in there. So we're going to shoot it in black and white. Did some tests with Jagger and the Stones, and he was going to put colour washes on the black and white, like he'd done before. And because he said you could never light that in colour, so while I was there, I did one little tour of the studio, photo files. Showed it to him, he loved it. He said, "Can you do the whole studio like that?" I said, "Yeah." So what we did is, the only way I could do it was and he didn't mind seeing lights in the picture, because he wanted everybody to know you were making a film.
Right,
it's like he's running the shot at the end of the crane and things like that. So we put all these long battens, like 20 feet 2x1 battens, with screwed hundreds of photo flags in and covered them with lots and lots of tracing paper. And way high up in the ceiling to give me a nice soft overall film. And the way they should have done it is they screw the cable into porcelain light holders, the proper thing. The electricians took the easy way out. They had a long strip of cable and got the Bakelite ones with prong. You just punched it in.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, so they were up there. They were burning. It was so hot in there. That each one of those bulbs was 500 watts. They must have been a couple of hundred. And on the fourth night, there was a bang. And one of the bulbs exploded, the paper caught fire, and a guy went up we had a big ladder on wheels. He went, "Don't worry." We put it out. As he was coming down, it was like a machine gun. Bang, bang. Everything started to go off, and all the paper caught fire. And
anyway, the whole studio caught fire. I mean, Godard and I were filming, the producer was trying to get the cameras out, go away, and the Stones didn't give a shit. And then eventually the fire brigade came, and they could only. What I didn't know was they were saying that Barnes recording studio is the first recording studio in London, 24 track, and it started life, I believe, as a church, and then it became a cinema. And then it became a television commercial stage. It was very high ceilings. And when they turned into the studio, not only did they put the battles, they put 3 feet of sawdust in it. So that had caught fire on the first night and just smoldered and smoldered and smoldered until it all stood up into it. So eventually we went out, and then Godard said, I'm going, don't tell anybody. So I'm going to Paris tomorrow night. So he went to Paris. Obviously, the French student revolution was going on. He went and dug up cobblestones and threw them at the police for about 3 weeks.
So you guys burned down the studio and then he split?
He split, but the producers didn't know that. And it was fantastic. And then he came back and we did the junkyard. But there was nothing was ever prepped.
So you just found that junkyard?
Well, we knew the junkyard. We had someone find us a junkyard.
How about the beach or whatever?
The beach, that was Canvas Sands. Where they shot Dunkirk, the original Dunkirk.
So how much did you rehearse in Junkyard?
We didn't rehearse at all. We just put a track down and the actors came in. No one knew what they were doing.
No way. Wow.
It was really wonderful. There's an incredible amount of freedom.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's like...
You feel like the camera's looking for the first time as it's moving along every time. Like it doesn't really know where it's going to go yet.
But who arranged the choreography of the gun tossing, for example?
Well, he just said they're going to be the line, they're going to toss them. We did lay a long, really circular curved track, and we once again went with the dolly pushing.
Right.
But I think that, I mean, it's only my opinion, I think the movie's probably more, all that movie was probably more relevant now than it was then.
Right.
I mean, certainly the revolution, that's not changed, that's still going on.
So when you zoomed in onto those two guys' faces, right, in that place, right, and then you zoom into the one guy and the other, that was Godard telling you to do that? That was just you?
That's what we planned.
Okay.
I had to get a special, we had the zoom lens, but there was no monitor, so I never knew. You know, we never knew where the cameras were.
We're using a reflex camera.
So we jerry-rigged a sort of monitor, so that I knew where they would be. And then, you know, then everybody in London was really excited because it opened the London Film Festival that year, and there was great excitement. We got our picture shot in England, you know, his first picture out of Paris, Rolling Stone, and that, and you know, it was packed. It was a rainy night, and what had happened was I colour corrected the movie. He never came over, and I guess I had done 5 prints, and the 5th print was perfect. And I called him and I said, he said, is there any other prints? Any other married princes? Well, the 4th one was married. I said, what's it like? I said, very good. I said, there's just a couple of tweaks I did. He said, can you get it? You could never do this stuff. I knew the head of the lab, you know, so I called him. Jean-Luc wants that print over in Paris. So can I? He said, yeah, come and get it. So I went and picked up the print. Told him called Godard, told him I got the print. Someone will pick it up for me. Someone came and picked it up 2 days before the premiere. So we go into the premiere and see. And Ian Correa and Michael Pearson got up on the stage. And they were talking about the film. And suddenly, like a raving lunatic, Godard came running down, jumped up and said, this is not my film. My film is being projected outside. I want you to all burn this place down and come and watch my film. And everybody booed Godard, so he punched Ian Correa and knocked him over, which I thought was fantastic.
Oh my God.
And it was all to do with the last 6 minutes of the movie, just the soundtrack.
Right.
There's the only difference between the two movies?
Yeah, the last 6 minutes, what the producers wanted, they felt they paid for that song and they owned it for the rights. They wanted to play the song. Godard didn't want it because in his mind that would have been art is finished. You know?
Right.
The question is, I seem to remember a version of this film where the democracy scene is repeated twice. Here on the sound and once you see it with the visuals. Am I hallucinating?
No, but there might have been the soundtracks. There might have been a separate soundtrack. I mean, was it on a Blu-ray or no, it wasn't a Blu-ray, on a DVD
It was years ago. It was a screen of the Sympathy for the Devil version. I just remember.
I don't recall that. I never recall.
Okay, I could be.
Well, I've never seen him since.
You never saw Godard since?
No.
Wow.
Well, I like to love his work.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. Somebody else came out and said they've seen this film previously, but it was like 20 minutes shorter, and all the like non-Rolling Stone scenes had been like cut way down from this version. So I get this idea that there's a variety of bootleg versions that people have manipulated.
But I think the restoration, this is fantastic. They did a really good job.
So it was shot 35.
Shot at 35.
Right. And what was involved in the restoration? Going back to original negative?
Well, they went back to the original. It was done in London by Arrow Films, and I went over to London colour print. And we made it look, even though it's the 4K digital. I mean, I didn't do it. I didn't change it. I mean, I didn't
add extra. Noise reduction,
absolutely nothing. That's the whole idea when you want to restore something.
Right. And it's true as possible, right?
And it's fantastic. I mean, people either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
And they hated it when it came out. It was
Great.
And loathed it.
Now, Abco always owned it for the U.S. rights, right?
Yeah.
Because of Valentine.
Yeah. So, well, that's another story. I liked Valentine. I'm one of the few people who liked it.
Well, the musicians would tend to like him for a year or two when they made him.
Well,
he made them a lot more money at
Bobby,
first.
Bobby Darin, he was an accountant, and he was doing some books of Bobby Darin. So, you know, you're owed a lot of royalties. I said, no, I don't know. Well, you are. I said, can I go after them? And I want 25% of what I get. So Darin said, he uncovered lots of royalties. So and then somehow
He had a reputation.
yeah, and then he bought the Rolling Stones of Andy Rolling. So money changed hands. And then that's how I met Alan. And then I did the Rock and Roll Circus for him, which is another story, but also just by illustration. And then when he left the Stones in 1968, somehow he owned all of the Stones publishing. And when they started to 68. And then they still spoke to him. And then he went to the Beatles. And then he was the start of the All the Trouble with the Beatles, you know, which I also shot Let It Be. So there's a lot of contention there, but not on the film Let It Be. It's ready to be remastered, ready to go out on DVD. But it's
Let It Be.
Yeah, but it's being because there's so much extras going on the DVD of all the shit that was going on. They all disliked each other and Yoko Ono and Linda Easton rather, and it's being held up by Yoko Ono and Bill Wyman's estate. Because there's a lot of nastiness there between them all. But who cares? Some of them are dead and it's not going to affect them. And why shouldn't we know what went on? Because that was pretty wonderful.
So Ringo and Paul have approved, but
yeah,
Yoko and George's widows.
I don't know why. I mean, everybody knows they didn't like each other. But it was fascinating. I mean, it's the only other. The only other thing ever came close to that in terms of not knowing what was going on and not doing any prep was a movie I shot called Ravenous. With Guy Pearce and Bobby Carlyle. It's a sort of a loosely based on the Donna Party. And it's a sort of a dark sort of horror story. We shot it in the tears in Prague and all the stuff in the high Tetris Mountains in Slovakia in the battle scene in Durango. And what had happened is Mircea Manchevski was directing that, a Macedonian director. A couple of years prior to that, he directed a movie which was nominated for Best Foreign Film called Before the Rain, a really good movie. This Ravenous was his first big American movie. An American DP was Czech, and they were shooting in Czechoslovakia. But he became a bit of an egomaniac. He wanted extra days. He refused to shoot the first day until he got 2 extra days and things like that. And he shot for 10 days. It was absolute garbage. So Laura Siskin, who ran that movie, Fox flew out and fired him and took a director with him. A guy called Raja Gosnell, who was fresh off Home Alone 4 or 5 or something, so he was a comedy director. And Guy Pearce and Bobby, they're very intense actors.
Yeah, right.
And they closed down for a week. And while they were talking to Raja, they both said to him, there's a scene that Milcho cut out that we want back in. He said, I don't give a shit what it's in or out. So they didn't like it. So they refused to work with it. So they closed the movie down, and then they got rid of the other cinematographer. And then Laura said, well, if you can find someone to come out in 2 days and do this, we'll keep it going. So I got a call on a Thursday morning. Read the script. I thought, this is fantastic. It's going to be shot in Iceland in the mountains. I'll be skiing and night back to my hotel. It's wonderful. I called them Friday morning and said, yeah, I want to do it. They did my deal. And the executive at Fox said, well, go and get a medical because you're leaving to Saturday. I said, okay, I'll just drive up. They said, what do you mean drive up? They said, you're going to Prague.
Right.
So I arrived in Prague at 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon. And we started, and I'd never met the director. She'd never done any prep. And we started from scratch. We had no prep whatsoever, and it was fantastic.
No way.
Because you couldn't screw it up.
Yeah, right.
I mean, really, if you did, they're not going to blame you.
Who was the director ultimately?
A wonderful director, a woman called Antonia Bird. She was wonderful. It's one of my favourite movies.
Cool.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's fabulous.
Yeah. What year was it?
When did we shoot that? So it's probably 98.
98. Yeah.
The last film I shot fully photochemical, which was much better than But this was quite an experience.
Yeah.
It's an experience I'll never forget.
Right. The camera work is masterful throughout the whole thing, yeah. So it's...
Do you know how the casting worked for it at all? Like, where did they find all the various...
I don't know.
I mean,
I guess we had a casting director,
Right.
Yeah.
No one ever spoke to everybody. Godard refused to speak. The only person he would speak English to was me, when no one else was around. Otherwise he'd speak French. So when the producers came and asked him a question, Fun?
The movie's in English.
Yeah. I mean, one night when we were in the studio, I mean, maybe I shouldn't tell this story, but it's really rather amusing. He needed to talk to me about something, so his assistant said, go down to the men's room. So there's a big men's room was downstairs, and about 6 urinals and 4 or 5 stools. So we're there having a pee. He's telling me something. Suddenly there's a terrible crash in one of the stalls. Oh my God. And out came Brian Jones. He's got his sleeve rolled up, he's got a hypodermic needle, and he had one of those bits of rubber. He said, Tony, could you tie this round? He went back in and we carried on talking.
Right. Yeah. Brian Jones does look a little glazed in some
He is,
footage,
yeah. I mean, he was the tail end of Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died shortly thereafter.
And then notice he's not there in the last session.
Yeah, he's not.
And then, I mean, I guess it was pretty rough for him because Keith by that time was screwing Anita Pallenberg.
Right.
And that was Brian's girlfriend.
Right. Yeah, so Keith was playing the bass on that whole thing.
Yeah, and then he...
Why did he play the bass rather than...
Bill?
Right, yeah.
I don't know. I never bothered to ask.
No.
And that one they're calling How's This Jimmy? That was Jimmy Page they're talking about. Jimmy Page produced the album. It's a great album.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
When the movie came out, was the song already out? In other words, did people know the song yet? What came...
Probably the movie might have come first.
I mean, to me, that's a really
Yeah.
thing. If they had owned the song, and nobody
It's a
knew
great
this
song.
big Stone
It's
song.
still one of my favorite
Oh, it's
songs.
top 10.
I mean, I forget. It's Beggar's Banquet.
The Beggar's Banquet,
I forget which. Did the film actually come out in 69 or 68? It was shot in 68, but do you remember how long it took?
It probably came out. It might have come out in 68.
Yeah, Beggar's Banquet.
Well, we can
68.
find out very quickly.
If only we had small portable computers.
I IMDb all this when it was released.
This is so clean too. No scratches, no dust. Really good restoration.
Good restoration and something that was suitably not enormously popular.
Right,
enough
right,
So that
so-
it need to keep running off.
68.
Yeah, it's
So it was
right.
released in 68. So
I wonder which, hit the street. Because that's
Well, I
another
think-
reason why you could
I-
see, like, if people didn't really know the song yet.
Right. No, they didn't. I mean, also, yeah, because that was the first. Because how that came about is that Jimmy Page told someone, "I'm really working on this great track with the Stones," and so that was the first one, the first song on Beggars, the first song they did for that album. And you know, Godard originally wanted the Beatles,
Oh, really?
and then he wanted John Lennon to play Lennon. And then they couldn't do a deal with the Beatles, so then someone found the Rolling Stones.
So he was up in Britain fishing around for something, right?
No, what had happened is a guy called Mim Scala who says he was one of the producers, but he wasn't. But he was an agent, and you know, he was a friend of Michael Pearson, the producer, was a very rich playboy, Lord Calvary's son. Then the richest man in England, and it was his Rolls Royce that I went to that party. And Mim Scala had met Godard, and he got the in Paris. He got the feeling that Godard didn't really know what was going on in London,
Right.
because everything was happening in London,
Yeah.
67, 68.
Right.
So he wrote him a letter and asked him if he'd ever like to do a movie in London. And then Godard wrote back and said, yes, I want to do a movie. And Mim Scala sort of mentioned the Beatles or the Stones. And Godard said, he wrote back and said, yes, I'll do a movie. It'll have a beginning and a middle and an end, but not necessarily in that order. It was very famous quote. And he came over. You know. We wouldn't talk to anybody, which I thought was rather amazing.
Yeah.
It was really, I was like I was very young. It was wonderful to be part of that crowd. It was fabulous.
Right.
Couldn't do that now.
Great experience.
And it's, you know, it's selfishly for me, it's really nice to know that something that one worked on 50 years ago is being restored.
Yeah, and maybe more in vogue now than then even.
I think so. Yeah, and you know, we've just done a restoration of the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus.
Right.
And that's going to come out next year. And that's a fantastic restoration.
Wasn't that a TV show? Done as a TV show?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Well, no. What it wasn't. It was done. I guess it was. No one knew what. They just produced it. Alan Klein
Okay.
produced it. And we shot it in a circus tent.
Right.
And we built our own little circus. We got a really shitty circus. All the acts did things. They did things wrong. They full of horses
Right.
and stuff. And you know, we had Taj Mahal, Jethro Tull, Marianne Faithfull, The Who, and then Dirty Mac. That was Lennon and Eric Clapton and Ginger Baker.
Right.
And then the Stones. And so we started shooting at about 2 o'clock one Saturday afternoon and went through to about 4 o'clock Sunday morning, which is fantastic. And you know, unlike most of those things, when the group come in, they do their bit, they all go up, but everybody stayed. It was like a big party.
Yeah, right.
And the Stones were there all the time, and they didn't go on until about 3 o'clock in the morning, do their 4 numbers. And the Who had gone on just before them, and they were absolutely fantastic. And we got the cameras from Paris, and they were, in those days, they were the height of technology. It was to all intents and purposes, it was as we know, a pedestal television camera.
Right.
With the operated the camera, did the zoom with the focus,
Yeah,
did
right.
Dolly himself.
Sure.
But it had a beam splitter in, so with a 16mm camera, so 50% of the light went to the TV camera, and 50 went to the 16mm camera. And the director sat outside, cut it like a live
feed, yeah.
live feed, you know.
Right.
And so when the film was developed, each cut was marked, so we got an instant rough cut. You know?
Right,
So
right.
Mick saw it and hated the Stones' performance. And said,
Oh, really?
we've got to do this again. We couldn't do it straight away. Well, he couldn't. They had commitments, and a couple of months later, Brian died, and then it just went. And then somehow some of the stuff got lost, and then and then one, I guess, around about 1990, probably 94. One of the Stones road managers in England died. His wife was cleaning up his cottage, and in the garage he found all these cans of film. And she called Alan Klein and said, shall I throw these away? I said, why don't you send them over? And it was that.
Wow.
So that's when they recalibrated. That's why it didn't come out till 96.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Is the cut that came out the same as the live switching, or did they tweak it a little bit or throw it out completely?
Oh no, I mean, it was roughly the same, yeah, roughly the same.
I remember I saw a bootleg of it many years ago, and then I saw the version that came out, and I was just waiting for the MPD editing. I thought, oh, good, they didn't do that, you know.
No, right.
You know?
Oh, all that zooming in like that, yeah, that was,
Yeah, no, it didn't. You know,
that was Michael Lindsay Hogg's signature.
Yeah, but I thought they'd probably like cut it really fast because that was
No,
time
but,
limit.
no, they had plenty, they reassembled it,
Yeah, it was
everything.
really good.
It was a negative they found.
Have they found anything that was missing at that time?
Well, there's still some missing. All the clown stuff is missing. But when we did the restoration, unfortunately, it's not done from the 16mm neg. It's done from a 35mm interpose. Because what had happened was, somehow, even though Stones paid for it, Alan Klein seemed to own it, and somehow they were still talking to Stone, even up until probably 4 years ago. And Alan's dead, and his son runs the company. And Mick had the neg there somewhere in a vault, so they were going to send it over for the restoration. And then Jody Klein, Alan's son, who runs the company, was going to release a really incredible Stones tour called Charlie Is My Darling. You ever seen that?
Yeah, Peter Whitehead.
Yeah, it's just two venues. I mean, Northern Ireland and Dublin. And
Yeah, we showed that at Filmforum.
it's
long
fantastic.
ago.
Yeah. And Mick called Jody and said, "Listen, don't release that because they were releasing another thing. Just hold on for 3 months." And Jody refused to. So that severed all relations with him.
Wow. Yeah.
But the restoration is good. And then what made it so good is that I was going to go to New York and color correct it, and then Abco called me and said, "Listen, can you go into Dolby next week and just do a test of one song? They want to see it. We want to see it." So color corrected in Dolby, which is absolutely fantastic, absolutely unbelievable. And then it didn't look like they would do it because it would be too expensive to do it fully in Dolby. Then Dolby saw it and liked it, and they paid for it. So the color corrected in Dolby is absolutely fantastic.
And was this from 16 original finally or not?
No, it was still from the. It's okay. It's from the.
Not bad.
Now, there's been a DVD edition of that already, of Rock and Roll
Yeah,
Circus.
but not the 4K. Not to the, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is 4K,
This is revised one.
and they remastered the track.
Cool.
There we go. Any more questions? Anything else?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Fantastic
Yeah.
history lesson.